Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and this is the Klein 32-32-7 27-in-1 precision tamper-proof screwdriver set. It has interchangeable bits. It's a fixed shaft on the front end, uses 3.5mm bits, which I do not like. In the back end, it runs two 6-bit carousels, each double-sided, so you got 6 times 2. Two sides is 12 times 2 for 2 carousels is 24, 25, 26 up here, and then you can use this as a 3.5mm driver for the full 27. It's fairly large size compared to some of the others. This is the 14-in-1. Uses kind of that Klein flipping around interchangeable design that's been around forever. This is a smaller one. This one has 2 bits. But the game here is you can flip this thing around and make it shorter or longer. If it's in the short position, you can slide this collar up, which protects the bit or your shirt pocket or whatever. So I really am a fan of these. Unfortunately, though, you're kind of limited in bits. And let me get into that. But first, what do we have for the bits on this? Well, one I really like is it does come with a Phillips 2. Or number 2 Phillips, and it's real. I wouldn't crank on this thing like I would with a conventional Phillips screwdriver, but it is there. So then it goes from the number 2 Phillips all the way down to a 000 Phillips. On the back end, we've got slotted from 1mm up to 3.5mm, and that's because that's the maximum width that you can have, simply because it's got to fit into the barrel. They aren't doing any bit expansions like you can see with some of the other tools like this iFixit, where it takes the standard 4mm shaft but then can raise it up, in this case probably to a 5. What else does it have in there? It's got hexes. It's got a 0.9, a 1.3, and a 1.5 that are solid, and then it switches to the security hex, which is 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. Again, that 3.5 limit. Then it has torques from T3 all the way up to T15, and only the 3 and the 4 are without the security hole in the top. So if you pop one of those out, wherever one is, right here, you can see that they do have that security feature. What else is in there? Well, that 3.5mm front end, that's full 27. It's about 19 bucks. I think that's what I paid for it. It's a well-made tool made in Taiwan, like a lot of their screwdrivers are now, especially anything with moving parts. Some of the other ones, like this one here, this 14-in-1, I like it. I use it. It's great. There are smaller ones. Little one here just has kind of that flip bit. Nothing else changes. So you get your your slotted and your Phillips, small Phillips, and then of course they've got a great line of the standard fixed precision screwdrivers, and then their full line of full-size ones. But here's what's going on. First of all, at a 3.5mm bit, you've got some problems. You're kind of one of the few that's out there using that. If you grab a regular precision bit that from a lot of other companies, you get a full 4mm. So this 4 does not fit in here, and then if I grab a handle, say here in this iFixit kit, and try to put their 3mm in, it just spins. So there is 0 compatibility there, which also means you're not able to use a lot of the reducers, like in this case, kind of the quick lock to a 4mm bit. I can't run one of these Kleins in there, but I can certainly grab a standard 4mm and then get all of the advantages of any handle I want, or even using a power tool. In this case, here's a cute little acrylic Malco connects to. I like this. It's got a super big heavy-duty front end on it for a tiny little driver, but I can do that. Others, here's by the way, we should get this out. This is a Weeha. I don't know if you can, somewhere on here it'll say that. There it is. This is a Weeha adapter. I can put links to these in the description. And this is also a Weehaw here, if you look. So I've got, come on, get focus, there we go. So I've got these two adapters, which allow me then to leverage all of my 4mm bits, but none of those work on the Kleins. The other thing is, it isn't just the 3.5mm that's a little bit irritating, and I've had irritations before. I did a video a way long time ago about this Klein set I got where I wanted to work on iPhones, and the one that I needed, I think it was this number 5 Penelope, is the wrong size. It's marked that, but it doesn't work. I did a video, Klein immediately, they actually called me, and I talked to the guys at Klein, a guy at Klein, and he apologized, was really curious, because I looked at it under the microscope and showed it was the wrong size. It did not fit. I compared it to others and compared it to the fastener in the iPhone. They said they'd ship one out right away because you can't order these bits separately. Never heard from them again. So Klein, I'm going to keep bringing it up until you send me the proper bit to replace that defective one. It's probably a perfectly fine bit, except it's not the right, it's not labeled correctly and it's not the right size. But anyway, here's the other issue. Let's take a look at these bits. So here we go. This one, what do we have? Double-sided, probably held with a magnet, and maybe some other kind of ring retention in there. This one is double-sided with a ball detent, and it's fairly short. This one is ball detent, and it is longer, as you can see there. So there is no interchangeability, and look at that one. That one's even longer. So what's interchangeable and what's not? I can't put this in here. Whoop, almost disappeared. If I use this one in there, what happens? Does work, but I don't get maybe the reach that they're after. This one here that you do the flipping, pull it around, flip back and forth. This does not hold this tight enough really to count on. You got to have that detent in there. And then of course you can't use any of the detent ones in here because the detent is too high up. This shorter detent comes really close, but still no joy there. So not only are they 4 or 3.5mm bits, but there are 4 different sizes of 3.5mm bits across these various Klein platforms. Overall, it's a decent size. It is on the long side for a precision screwdriver. It's got a nice spinning top. They modified that a long time ago when they started, switching out to this design. It's kind of like a regular design and a pro design, I think, for their precision screwdrivers. I was glad to see it, and especially since other companies like Vera are really pushing high quality precision screwdrivers that are affordable. But it would be nice if it was 4mm. We've been saying that for years with Klein. I don't know why they're stuck in this 3.5mm because I can't use these other components. But it is, where it's going to fit in mine. One area is in a vehicle kit because it does take the place of having these kinds of kits. Of course, though, if you are interested in running other sizes, you're probably going to have to get an adapter, and then you can run, whatever you want. You can pull out some specialty bits, and those can stay together. If there's something in your vehicle, cameras are a common thing. Sometimes tail lights use unusual sizes, but overall, I think it's worth the $20. It's a little bit big, but there's the lineup should you want these different kinds of Klein precision screwdrivers. Each one has its own benefits, and they share a lot of the same problems. But overall, $20, 27 in one. Yeah, I think it's good. And with that, Doc out.